All right, nerds, we have another reaction video for you today. Project Vengeance is the name of the band. This is a metal supergroup even. Yeah, there's a bunch of different members in this band. We'll get into all of that. The name of this song is Cut, Bleed, Repeat. Apparently it's been out actually for a couple of weeks, but we talked about it when the project was initially released, and then there was a lineup change before this record came out, and then it kind of somehow fell off my radar. So here we are doing a reaction for it because I heard that it had been released, and I'm very interested to do this reaction video. Before we get into any other pieces, here's this. Well, hello there, nerds. Thank you very much for joining me for this reaction video. We have a couple of things to get out of the way before we can get back to said video. First and foremost, I do reactions as more of a initial analysis. So we're going to be stopping this. We're going to be talking over certain things. We're going to be replaying sections. We're going to be doing a lot of things that are not conducive to somebody who just wants to watch the original content. If you would rather watch the original content uninterrupted, then please go do that. I definitely would recommend that before you join me here on this reaction and analysis. Beyond that, I have to get my qualifications out of the way. I have been training in music since I was a little kid, which means approximately 30 years. I have been a professional musician and studio producer for about 20 of those 30 years. I have also been making, directing, and editing music videos and YouTube content for over a decade at this point. So I have a base of knowledge that lends itself to adding something constructive to this conversation. And that is exactly what this is. This is a conversation. This is my interpretation of what we are about to react to and analyze. If you have a different interpretation, that's what the comment section is for. Let's have a conversation about this thing, about why it may or may not be the greatest thing ever, whatever it is. I welcome the comments. I do request, though, that you try and be constructive with your criticism, or you at least have some sort of knowledge base to work from, because gotcha moments are not going to work in this comment section. I do have a pretty strong knowledge base and a pretty strong opinion most of the time. So, all of that being said, thank you very much for joining me right now, and let's get back to your regularly scheduled reaction video. All right, so no history with this band because this is a brand new band. This is a side project. Let's see if I can get to, side project from, all right, so there's the list. Those unaware, the history of the band used to be called The Big Six. That was what they were going to call this project. It changed to Project Vengeance. Originally unveiled their existence in December of last year. Vocalist from Attila, Fit for an Autopsy. What? Yeah, okay. Fit for an Autopsy, Lorna Left to Suffer, Traitors, and Annihilator. After the one teaser that we got, Attila vocalist Chris Fonzak left the band and was replaced by Spite vocalist Darius Tehrani. It's all good. The six of them and the name made sense. Well, until Fit for an Autopsy vocalist Joe, I'm reading this from Metal Injection. Joe Bodolato quit the band a few weeks after Franzak. Big Six put out a call for a new sixth vocalist. Never gave any updates on what was going on afterward. Big Six ultimately changed their name to Project Vengeance, and here we are, a deathcore supergroup. So that is all we really know about the band at this point. I don't know who the instrumentalists are. I did not add that into the notes for whatever reason. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But expectations, being as these are all big names in the deathcore scene, I think it should be noted that there's going to be some deathcore. We are going to see We're going to see a lot of vocals because we have 5 vocalists. We're going to see I'm very interested to see what the production on the vocals is, but just because how are you going to differentiate 5 vocalists who do very similar things vocally? So that's going to be really interesting. Also expecting for it to be really brutal. I mean, with a name like Cut, Bleed, Repeat, I can't see how it wouldn't be. I don't know. I don't really have any other expectations for this, I guess. Just really excited to see what they do with the vocals. That being said, let's get into the song. I like the what is the word I'm looking for? The tech elements, I guess. I mean the digital. That's the word. Wow, where the hell did that word go? I like the digital inclusion of like the computer music, effectively, that to augment the guitar. Seeing that a little more frequently these days with the deathcore scene, and I can get behind it. I wish, though, that bands that incorporated stuff like that, I wish they would also have somebody on stage with them so that they can reproduce that stuff without the use of a backing track, so that you have a little bit more leeway to kind of play with those kind of elements on stage to make it a unique experience. You're not just reproducing the record exactly. You have some sort of differentiation between the experiences of the listening to the album versus listening to the record. That being said, though, I dig it. Continuing on. Very interesting production note. The drums on this sound subpar, almost, like not terrible, but like they could be so much better. And considering drums are a pretty key element to extreme music, like that's a little disheartening. The snare just sounds really low in the mix. The kick is kind of lost behind the string instruments. There's the top end of the drums, so like the cymbals and stuff, that stuff's cutting through, but it kind of always cuts through. It's hard to stop it from doing that. I feel like the drum mix on this is not great. Though, that being said, I do appreciate that it sounds like it's not a digital drum kit. I don't think they did any, I don't think they did much, if any, there we go, drum replacement. So everything sounds like it's being actually hit by a human being. Possibly some quantization going on there because it sounds fairly on the grid, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, otherwise sounds very much like an actual person is playing those drums. Very difficult. Like, they're doing it, but it takes a second to catch it, I think. Differentiation between the vocalists. So, and I think the visual helps because we just got done with Will from Lorna Shore, and then previously we had whoever this dude is, and now we're moving over to this dude. So, like, the visual is helping a little bit, but Will so far is the most recognizable voice, I would say. probably because I'm the most familiar with his voice out of this list, but yeah. Oh, you think so? Yeah, it's also on production. I feel like there is something left to be desired on the stringed instruments. I don't know if there's a bass player on this. It might just be guitars. So yeah, very, very interesting mix going on here. Oh yeah, okay, there is a bass player. You can hear the clunk of the low E string or low B, whatever, assuming they're playing a 4 or 5 string. There is a bass player, but like just this mix is, I mean, understandably so, is so vocal heavy that everything else is kind of taken a back seat. So... Oh, really? I really like how vocal heavy it is, kind of. Like, I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement in this mix, but like it definitely gives you the room to hear the differences between the vocalists. So I guess silver linings in a way. That was gnarly. That was super gnarly. And I think each vocalist is getting, as far as like the orchestration goes for the song, each vocalist is getting almost like a different feel to the sections that they're singing over. So props to whoever orchestrated this and whoever wrote the music, because they're allowing for there to be an obvious differentiation between the track underneath and how it can separate each vocalist from the next. So that's pretty cool. Some hardcore gutturals. Hardcore gutturals. That's Will. He likes to do that animal snarl sound. Wow. Okay. So this was a thing that happened. there's definitely a lot that remains remains to be seen with this mix. If we can get back to where we're supposed to be. All right, so there's a lot that remains to be seen with this mix. That a lot left to be desired, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. That's not to say that it was a bad song at all. That's not to say I didn't enjoy it. It was pretty damn cool. I'm really impressed with how you can legitimately hear the difference between all 5 vocalists. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. There's a lot. There's a lot here. I would be really interested to hear the rest of this album, or whatever it's going to be, EP, LP, whatever, just to see if the same production notes plague the entire thing, or if maybe this is just an early mix of the single and then they're going to remix it for the record. Yeah, very much would be interested to hear that. But as it stands, still pretty good track. I still dug it. And that is where we end with the reaction. Extreme music is fun. Let's do more of this. This is the kind of stuff I really love to do. And I also really like to talk about nerdy things. So the main show on the channel is The Week in Nerddom, where we talk about the pop culture nerdy goings on from the last week. If you subscribe, you'll be getting a whole heck of a lot of that and reaction stuff thrown in to keep things fresh. So before we head out officially, thank you very much, nerds, for joining me. And always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.